Alright folks, I apologize for the long delay for the videos on the B&J special. We made a ton of progress and the videos, I have the footage, I just need to edit it and get it out there. In the meantime, I got a little bit of a distraction and I did a project on my daily driver, so for all of you Mazda fans out there, check out this video. Check out this video folks, while we went on Facebook Marketplace and we bought the rims from one location, the rear tires in another location, the front tires in another location, to see if we could put together a tire and wheel combo that was reasonably priced. I'll give you the results at the end of the video. Well gang, we just went on a cold Sunday morning mission to pick up a set of these. Those are targeted to go on the old B2200 extra cab. And my mission is not only to make my truck look cool, but I'm going to go through the process of correctly opening up the center to make them fit properly. So I'll go through that and the tires that I chose. And this is kind of a budget project. I'm trying to put together a tire and wheel package as inexpensively as possible, and do it all through kind of like Facebook Marketplace stuff. So this is step one. Mission accomplished. Now we got to find some tires. It's 20 degrees Fahrenheit, the wind is howling, it feels like temperature is 9 degrees Fahrenheit. It's currently 35 degrees inside the shop. I think I'll go hang out by the campfire for a little while. Alright, I just picked up some 255 45 18s to go on the new wheels for the rear. Now I need to work on finding some fronts. So the reason why I went down this rabbit hole is because I saw in one of the Mazda forums that I belong to a couple of B2200 Mazda enthusiasts have installed these wheels on their Mazdas, and I really like this wheel. And I said, well, if I ever find a set that's inexpensive enough, I think I'll go for it. Well, I found the wheels, and then I found two tires, so it's getting 255 series rear tires and 245 series tires on the front. And so this was probably a 100-mile Facebook Marketplace adventure. That set of tires was probably a 60-mile trip to grab those, and this was probably another 75-mile trip. So I like going on adventures like that. That doesn't bother me. But one of the things that I hope to do is, you know, how much does it cost to go find a set of wheels, find a set of tires, and get them on the truck. So I'll go through the whole process and what I paid for the different tires, and why did I choose these. Well, I was hoping I could just get a measurement on this thing, and the vernier caliper is just not going to fit so I can get an accurate measurement. So I guess I'm going to have to pull a wheel off the truck and measure the diameter of the hub. Shop's full, so I can't work inside. Out here in the snow. You know how you buy those things at a swap meet or a yard sale? And you say, someday I might have a use for that. I just remembered that I had a set of inside tools here, and got what I think is a pretty good accurate measurement of the ID of the GM wheel. Alright, being as careful as I can, it looks like the diameter of the inside of the factory rims is like 3.054 or 3.053. Alright, so this is the diameter of the Chevy 1500 6 lug. It's 3.0535. The Mazda, the inside diameter of the rim is 3.630. If you do the math, subtract the larger from the smaller, you get a total diameter change of 0.5765. Well, when you're removing material from the ID, you're going to move the cutter half of that distance, which is a radius, and if you divide 0.5765 by 2, you get 0.28825. So that's the total cut that I need to remove from the center of the give me a minute. So we have the larger diameter, and then we have the smaller diameter. The distance from here to here is going to be, if you calculate it this way, you've got both of these distances. So you're only going to be removing material from one side out to here, and if you take that and rotate it all the way around, it ends up being 2 times this number adds up to this. So you need to change the inside diameter. How do you do that? Well, you remove the difference from this edge to this edge, and that is basically the radius of this circle subtracted from the radius of this, and that basically gets you this number. I did the diameter subtracted from the diameter, therefore I have to cut it in half. So hopefully that's understandable. Alright, I just did my first cut, and I carefully made sure that the wheel was centered, where the center of the wheel was concentric with the center of the spindle of the Bridgeport, and I just made you know, like a 3,000th pass, and it's taken material off all the way around. So I know that I'm probably within 1.5 thousandths of being concentric with the bolt pattern. So I'm just going to go ahead and begin my process of increasing the depth of cut, and this is probably going to take an hour or more, so I'll do a couple of cuts, and then I will give you an update a little later on. This is definitely not the right tool for the job because I'm taking out way more material, but it's all I have, and it's the best process that I have in my shop to get this done as accurately as possible. Update you in a little while. Alright, I've got the setup done and I've made a couple of cuts. It's 9:02. Let's see how long it takes to do one wheel. Alright, that's halfway. Hopefully you can see how much that chamfer has been removed. Sorry about that. So it's about half the chamfer gone. I know that I'm getting extremely close to the final size when that chamfer disappears. Alright, let's keep going. Currently the time is 9:11, so I did check the time a little bit late before, let's call it 9 o'clock when I started, so halfway, over 10 minutes into it, probably closer to 15. Alright, I just finished my last cut. It's about 9:35, so that works out to be just about a half hour, not including the setup and positioning of the wheel. The number that I'm shooting for is 3.637, and I've got this inside set of calipers here, and I've got it set pretty close, and I'm using that as my gauge, and it is, I can just barely drop it in there without any resistance. So I'm going to stop here and move on to the next wheel. There's halfway on wheel number 3. It's almost 11 o'clock. Alright, I'm setting up the 4th wheel, 11:30. Alright, I just finished the finish cut on wheel number 4, and it's 24 after 12, so 3.5 hours, and subtract about a half hour out of that because I had some company and things, so a good 3 hours to machine 3 wheels. So far I like what I see. Fits on there nice and snug, and there is no run out, which means I was able to bore the center concentric with the lug nut pattern. So anyway, now it's time to get some tires on it, I guess. Alright, I just finished up the front brake job. My wife came up and helped me bleed all the brakes. Now, I'm going to make an attempt to put these on. Can't wait to see what it looks like. These aren't balanced, so they may be going on and coming right back off. We're going to take a quick test drive when they're on. This is embarrassing. Couldn't resist. Well folks, I just came back from a test drive down the highway and I gotta say, I couldn't be happier. Now these tires haven't been on a balancer and it goes down the road like, you know, they were balanced from a professional tire shop. So I'm extremely excited. Now these tires were really nice tires, expensive tires. I didn't pay a lot of money for them, but somebody else did, and the fact that the wheel doesn't twitch, there's no shake, no vibration, means that I must have paid enough attention to milling out the centers of the wheels to make them concentric with the wheel pattern. Super happy. I really like the look. Now I just need to lower the truck. So I'm going to do a little bit of some calculations and I'll tell you how much it costs. This is my Facebook Marketplace tire and wheel combo project. So just out of curiosity to see how much horsepower I'm going to lose and how much gas mileage I'm going to get robbed, I weighed, this is a 255 45 18 and that weighs 57 pounds. This is a 245 40 18, this weighs 50 pounds. So when I get the stock wheels off and tires, I'll weigh them and compare them to what's on the truck. Alright, so I just weighed the 205 75 14s on the stock wheels and it's about 42 pounds. So 8 pounds heavier in the front wheel and tire combination. Unfortunately, it's 15 pounds heavier in the rear wheels. So anyway, we'll have to deal with reduced power and probably cost me some mileage. But it looks cool as heck. Alright folks, I really have to get back to working on this modified, but I wanted to wrap up the video on the Mazda wheel project As I stated in the beginning, I was trying to put some nice wheels that I really liked on the Mazda, and I saw somebody else do it on the Mazda Forum, and it caught my attention, and I decided that that was something that I really wanted to do. And I wanted to do it inexpensively, or at least as inexpensively as possible. So as I did the search for wheels, I saw that they were anywhere from $400 to $200, and I kind of wrote the project off. I said, I'm not spending that much money. I want to stay within like $500 for the whole project if I could. So I ended up finding a set of wheels, and obviously that was the first thing that was required. And I found a very old ad that had the wheels for $200. Then I saved it. A couple of weeks later, they were marked down to $150. So I contacted the person, and I drove, a good 70 miles one way to go get them. And I was able to negotiate for $100 for the wheels. He was happy to get rid of them, had no use for them. Told him what I was doing with them, and he was actually kind of excited to see the finished result. So that's price number one, was the wheels, $100. Once I had the wheels, now the switch was on. So I went looking for tires, and I wanted something wide for the rear and a little narrower for the front, and kind of have that diameter difference to give the truck a little bit of natural rake. So my target was a 245/45 for the front, and a 255/45 for the rear. Let me wait for the compressor to turn off. Alright, compressor's done. So, as I said, 255s for the rear, 245s for the front. So I started searching, and I found tires that were reasonably close that I could drive to after work. And the 255s came up first. I had to drive about 50 miles one way to go get them. And they were, like the ad said, brand new. And the price had been dropping over time. And I think he was originally asking $200. I ended up getting them for $150. So the rear tires cost me $150. The second thing I found was the 245s, and they were available probably one of the closer trips I had to make, about 40 miles one way. And again, great person. Tires were exactly as said, brand new, and I think he was asking $175 for the pair. I got them for $140. So the total package, wheels, rear tires, front tires, was $390. So that's what I have invested in my little wheel project. I'm very, very happy with the results. Every time I look at the truck, I smile, and it goes down the road fabulously. I'm really pleased with the ride, the cornering ability. Not that it's a race truck, but it improved dramatically over the 75 series 14-inch tires that were on it. So just as a closing thing, I will post a before and after picture. I'll be looking forward to what you folks think of the project and how I went about it. Now that that's complete, once I get the modified a little further along, my project for that daily driver is to lower it. And I'll show you how and why and what I do to that when that happens. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, share. We'll see you again soon.